Welcome to Backroads DIY. Today's episode, we're going to be making a major upgrade to our security system. Thank you to Reolink. So, Reolink is the sponsor for today's video. In all transparency, I reached out to them and told them about our situation here, and they said yes, we'd be happy to partner with you. So let me kind of give you a little bit of background. If you have not seen any of our other videos, and if you haven't, I recommend you go and check those out. We got videos on a pond build that we've done. We just talked some fish, but we are out here, kind of remote location. We are on 45 acres of land. Our property on one side actually backs up to a neighborhood, and the driveway, which is here behind me, comes off the neighborhood, runs all the way through the property, and connects to an adjoining road about a little bit over a quarter mile away that way. My family has already built a home out here, and we are in the process of building our home out here. So I'm not on the property all the time, and we live about 15-20 minutes away. So I'm not always out here. We do have game cameras out that we have set for motion sensor. We use the Tacticam Reveal cameras. They're still cameras, so anytime somebody enters one side of the driveway, we get a text alert with the picture. Now that's great. That's worked thus far. We've caught all kinds of stuff, from wildlife, of course, to neighbors driving through, cutting through, just being nosy, hearing the construction noises, or the UPS drivers driving all the way through using it as a road. Or we've even had people, back when the driveway was gravel, pushing their kids on strollers from the neighborhood, walking back here and checking things out. And I get it. People are kind of naturally nosy, but being the kind of protective person that I am, I want to know who's on the property, why they're there, and what they're doing. And the game cameras that we have now just give us a static image. Yes, we could make those be a video, but the video still doesn't capture a whole lot. It doesn't pan, doesn't tilt, doesn't follow, do any tracking. Thus, the reason I reached out to Reolink. They have a great product here. This is the TrackMix LTE. This is actually the -C version, which is the camo version. And then they also sent me a solar panel. So all of our current game cameras are set up on solar panels because we don't have electric anywhere out here close. And apologies if you can hear the neighbor mowing in the distance. Hopefully you hear the birds and not him mowing. But let's get in here and take a look and see what we have. All right, first with the, let me scoot you all back here a little bit. First with the camera. Comes with a SIM card here. This is I believe it's a 100 megabyte just a trial SIM card. So since these are cell cameras, you will need a SIM card, which is actually what this is here. So I did a bunch of research, and this seems to be kind of the most popular option, is going with the EIoT, or EIOT maybe, the Electronic Internet of Things Club. They have a ton of different plans. This is a dual carrier card, so this will work with AT&T and T-Mobile, which both have pretty decent reception where I am. This is a 1 gigabyte 30-day card. If I run out of the 1 gigabyte capacity, then I can go in the app, I can upgrade it, I can extend it. So this was only like $7 a month. So we're going to start with this. Actually, we're going to start with what Reolink sent. Whenever you use that 100 megabytes of trial data, I'll switch over to the SIM card. And here, I think this is just a bunch of, yes, this is the operate instructions, a little brochure. There's also a mounting template in here. Okay, let's open up the camera and take a look at it. All right, here it is. This thing is heavy. I am actually really surprised with how heavy this is. So here in this little box, inside we have our, hopefully I can hold this and you see it, mounting screws, bracket screws, and a USB cord to charge your camera. Let me rotate this. Actually, I'm going to set you all back down and move the stuff out of the way. Okay. So here's the camera, and this thing is beefy. This is all metal here. Nice bracket. Camo, as I said, it also comes in white. So we got a couple different, looks like spotlights, infrared sensor. This one actually has two different lenses, so it is a hybrid zoom. It is a wide angle, which has I think a digital and optical zoom, and then it also uses the near focus telephoto lens to track whatever is setting off the motion around. So I'm really excited for this. My hope is that when I mount this on a tree over here, I'll show you where that is. It will key in on the traffic that's coming in, whether that's a person or a vehicle, and will follow that vehicle down across the driveway. A lot of times people come and they see the first no trespassing sign, they kind of ignore it, they keep driving. They see the second no trespassing, no soliciting sign, and then they were like, okay, well, maybe I do need to turn around, and they will use the grass over here on the side and turn around. Sometimes they drive all the way over to my mom's house and show up on camera there, which is definitely not cool. But I'm hoping that this will follow them, will allow us to track and see if they're just turning around or if they are proceeding towards a house, and when we can switch over to our security system and check those cameras. So that's what the whole intent of this is for, is just for peace of mind for our security, especially until I get out here on site. And then we will probably move this camera over somewhere closer to the house. This does need a SIM card, which I believe goes down here in the bottom. I think this is where the sorry, I think I said SIM card. The SD card goes down here in the bottom. It does not come with an SD card, so you will need to purchase one. They actually sent me one, which was nice of them. This is where the SIM card for your cell service goes. And here in this package is the SD card. So this is just a micro SDXC card, 64 gigabyte capacity. It will take up to 128 gigabyte SD card. So you can put that in here and it will record to that. All right, enough about the camera here. Let's move this stuff over to the side. And let's take a look at put this back in here so I don't drop it, at the solar panel. I'm sorry if I'm out of breath. It is 98 degrees out here with 80% humidity. It is miserable. I'm going to try to stay off camera because I am soaked. Been working on projects here around the house, and it is not a pretty sight. So let's open up this here. This is probably another operating instructions. Yes, it is. And a template for mounting that as well. And then we have the solar panel itself. This one is white. I believe the camo one typically comes with a black one, but this is what I was sent. I'm not going to complain. This will work just fine. But looking at the site, I do believe that typically it comes with a black one. And then we also have mounting bracket. This goes into the back. It'll screw in there, and then you can adjust it based on the sun's position. There's a couple of cables in here, strap, as well as some brackets. So you can either use kind of the traditional strap that we for game cameras that you just wrap around the tree, which is probably what I'm going to do today, because this may not be where the camera lives full time. I want to get it up here. I want to test it out. I want to see kind of the range of motion, focus, things like that. Then whenever it gets to its permanent location, I will use one of the actual brackets and probably screw it into something. But here is the strap for the camera itself and the bracket. All right, so here's my tree I'm gonna mount it on. I gotta grab my little cordless chainsaw, cut some of the branches up. But my hope before I get here in this tall grass and probably get ticks on me is it will cover all of this area here. Which right now, if I walk over here and look at what the camera that we have now, which is probably going to send me a photo of myself, which is wonderful. But I don't know if you can see it. It starts back in here. But here is my Tacticam camera and solar panel down below it. And it just looks out right here and sends a static picture. All right, so back over here to our station. I'm gonna set you all down, trim up the tree, grab my ladder. I will probably go ahead and strap it to the tree because I think trying to strap it while also trying to videotape it while on the ladder is probably not the best of ideas. So I will check back here in a minute whenever I get this on the tree. All right, we've got the tree trimmed. Now it's time to go ahead and register the SIM card and get it set up on my phone. And there's thunder in the background, so I'm gonna try to go through this quickly. But first thing we need to do is come into the Reolink app, which I have right here, add a new device. It then wants us to scan the SIM card device. I've got to create an account here. I'm doing this on my phone while screen recording, so hopefully it works okay on here. I'm gonna have to blur some of this out. I forget the code. Make sure I am who I am. I've got to create a password. Definitely going to block this out. Okay. I am signed up. I have my card already in the camera, which you can see right there. I do have the camera off still, per the instructions, and I'm actually reading the instructions. Looks like there's a few different plans on here. 2 gig for $8.49. I may actually end up doing that instead of the one that I bought. We'll see how much data I use. But right now we're going to use the free 100 megabytes. And looks like it's good for a 1 month period. Let's go ahead and do that. Okay, unable to recognize. Please make sure the scan QR code is from a Reolink device or SIM card. That is from a SIM card. Let's try that again. Okay, well it says it already shows the plan. Okay, that's done. Stop. Okay, let's try to scan the QR code here on the back of the camera. Alright, now we have an adding device option. Error, no network connection is available or network signal is low. Oh, you know why? Because I said I was reading the instructions, but you know what I didn't do? Is I did not turn on the camera, which I believe was, let's see, activate the SIM card, insert it. With the SIM card inserted, turn on the camera, wait a few seconds, a red light will be on and solid. So let's, oh, it's spinning here on its own. Okay. All right, right now I got a blue flashing light. I went ahead and plugged in the solar panel just to see if it would charge, because we are pretty overcast right now. It's going to rain here soon. Blue light is flashing. Then go solid before you hear a network. So, okay, now we're back. Sorry about that. My camera ran out of storage and I had to switch over to my external SD card here. All right, I see no flashing light. I was supposed to hear a network connection succeeded. I heard nothing. Okay, so we're going to go back and we're going to try to scan this and see what happens. Focus. Focus. There we go. Alright, we're adding device. No network connection. Well, that's not working well, is it? Let me make sure I have the SIM card in here correctly. So you got this tiny little bitty SIM card. Should be just like that. Yep, that looks correct. Now we gotta get it all the way in here. May flip it off. That's why we're doing this together, right? It could be I'm doing something wrong. I'm rushing to beat this storm that's coming in, but I just turned it off and back on. And let's see now what happens. Hey, there's a solid red light. Now we got a blue light. And we are rotating. I don't think it registered the SIM card. Sorry, I'm reading the... So this just says to scan the QR code with the app, follow the app's instructions to activate the card, and then insert it. Which the camera instructions actually say to insert the SIM card and then turn it on, and blue light will flash for a few seconds and then go solid before going out. You will hear a voice prompt, network connection succeeded, which means it's been successfully connected. And then it says to proceed with setting up the camera. And that is thunder in the background. I am going to stop this real quick and try to do this off camera and see where I'm going wrong. It's probably me, and then come back and tell you what happened.
A few moments later.
Alright, that was silly. Partially my fault, but let me show you what happened here. So there are 2 barcodes here and the QR code. My camera was scanning one of these and not working. So I basically covered these up with my fingers, scanned the QR code, and now I get the option to insert the SD card, which I did. So I'm going to say I did that. It is showing me how to install the SIM card. The SIM card is already active because actually let's activate it. See what happens. It may say it's already been activated because I already have it on a plan. So if so, we will go back and say we already have one. I will say this part could be a little more intuitive just because the SIM card instructions differ from what the camera shows, and that's probably because the SIM card is kind of more universal to all of their cameras. So we're actually going to go back and we'll say we already have an active card. It is connecting to my device. It says it may take a few minutes, and I will chop all this up if I haven't already done so you're not sitting here just waiting around for me. It's initializing the device. She wants to sit here for 20 minutes while I hash this out. Alright, device password. We're going to blur this out too. Okay, device password. Name device. This will be the driveway. recording mode. Let's do a video and image. We'll go ahead and format the SD card because it's brand new. Alright, camera should avoid frequently moved objects, heat sources, mirror. Okay, done. And we'll block this out. And we will claim our warranty, go through all of this, allow access. Okay, and we are facing the ceiling, or the sky. Let's take your camera off, or take the protective cover on, and just click on it. It is connecting, and we are live. Okay, so now that I know I have a working camera, I'm going to close everything back up here. I'm going to stop the screen share, or screen recording, not screen share. Okay, I'm going to close up the little port here, make sure it's waterproof. I already put in the SIM card right there and screwed it down so it's waterproof. And then we are going to attach the bracket on the back here. So it looks like it goes just like that. We'll get that on there, and then I will hop on the ladder, hang it up there on the tree, and next time you see me, we will hopefully be testing this. Alright, we've got the camera all set up there, and it just sent me a notification. Motion alert. I still gotta go through all these settings. I gotta make sure the tracking is set to turn on, so I don't have it set right now. But it's fairly easy to hook up. I think the main issues were my fault. Were it not standing in the right thing. All their cameras probably don't have 3 barcodes right there close together. They probably have a QR code on the side or something that's easier for it to scan and not get confused. But overall, yeah, everything was really easy. I'll include some clips here at the end after I did all the settings set up and stuff of people or vehicles or animals walking and tracking on the camera. But appreciate you watching. A big, huge thank you to Reolink. I feel much better about having this type of camera out here and being able to kind of follow who's out here, and just kind of gives me a great peace of mind. So huge thank you to them. Appreciate you all watching. Have a great day. Thank you. So as we watch a couple of clips here at the end, I've been really impressed with this camera. I've been using it for about a week or so. It took me a day or two to kind of go through the settings and adjust the motion zones, the sensitivity, things like that. I was only getting maybe 3 or 4 false positives a day, but I changed the sensitivity. I changed some of the motion zones, and those have kind of gone away. This camera does a really good job of tracking, especially if it's a person or animal. For cars that are going kind of 20, 30 miles an hour, it has a hard time keeping up with those. But this camera's done a great job for what I need it to do.